welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed the new intro. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm messing around with StreamYard. I'm leveling up, you know. Greetings and welcome back once again. This is Amuna. I pray everybody is doing well. I pray you are having an excellent day wherever you are and spreading some love, some joy, and hopefully some understanding. We're living in the world of knowledge. But how much of us is seeking to get understanding and wisdom with that knowledge? But I've been wanting to do this for a while. A couple of years ago, I'm like, man, this is before it all blows up. I'm like, I don't like the way this woman treats Michael. I'm gonna call her this woman. I even told a friend who put me on to 90 Day Fiancé that I want to do something. I want to write a blog. I wanted to do something because she was abusive from the get. Now, I named this the reason why Angela treats Michael like this. And it's simple. I'll tell you right in the beginning, because he lets her. The reason why, if we're an adult in these types of relationships, there comes a point in time where we allow the person to do what they're doing. And as long as we don't have any boundaries, Michael, he's not reinforcing his boundaries. And it for many people it's worse because he's a man. Right? But man or woman, if you don't have boundaries, if you don't reinforce those boundaries, if you don't show someone how you expect to be treated, then they're going to continue to infringe upon your rights as a human being. Like this woman, I said it in a few videos ago, treats him like poo-poo, poo-poo. Poo-poo, poo-poo. My niece, when she was younger, she would say poo-poo, poo-poo. She treats Michael like poo-poo, poo-poo. Got me scratching my head. It agitates my very being and core. And if it was the other way around, if Michael was doing this type of thing to her, it would be a different conversation. So it took a while for us on the viewing end to really outcry, like this is wrong. This is terrible. What is wrong with these women? But of course, like they say, it makes for good TV. Now, I'm going to try not to get any copyright issues. I'm going to see if I can play this. If not, I don't think I'm going to play it because the last thing I played, they tried to give me copyright issues. But essentially, his friends, and like people say, he still has them. Because remember, to me, Angela seems to be a narc. She's abusive, right? Narcissistic. Things center around her. She manipulates you emotionally for you to come on her side. And from what I'm seeing, as it stands right now, to be on this show, which is 90 Day Fiancé, even if it started off as I wanted to be with this person, as they went along, it became profitable for them to be together. Like she couldn't be on this show without Michael, because then there wouldn't have been a happily ever after. So even if she started off in these Yahoo boy rooms and he started off in these chat rooms, because I don't know if you guys remember when, and this is for the people who watched the show, when baby girl Lisa was on, which is another, I wasn't doing commentary on this back then, but my goodness, that was with USMAN, right? So when they were having the tell-all, Angela was putting her up on game. So I was like, it seems to me that Angela has done this before, right? So she may be familiar with this. She gets off in some way, shape, or fashion by looking to the continent and people who may need you and can't necessarily have the agency to leave you. You have the upper hand, right? So we see that she likes having the upper hand. This is not just their situation. We can take it as a template, but she likes having the upper hand. So she has the upper hand. Okay. He's looking for something also. So he's not totally absorbed of responsibility in this situation. Michael is looking for passage to America. Now they're in this relationship. Now I'm not saying that's all he's looking for. To be taking this level of abuse, it has to be something else going on with him, but he's looking for passage. Side note, Michael is taking a lot that stereotypically, the Nigerian man, that's why the friends are saying it, the aunt said it, the mother, everybody's like, wait a minute, what is going on with you? But something had to happen to him along the way. Now, he said that his father was polygynous, meaning that he had multiple wives. I forgot how many he said he had, but somebody dropped the ball somewhere along the line with Michael. that he needs such a domineering and a woman to be in control. There's something else going on, but I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Anywho, so eventually, um, they see that it's advantageous for them to have this journey together. You couldn't be on married happily ever after if you broke up. Now, Angela has a different objective in mind. How can we tell? Because she switches it up on the end. That means that, for me, that was her original intent. Her original intent was to get the body surgery. Her original intent, now them being on this show, they both get to make money together. Whatever they pay them per episode, for coming back and continuing to come to the show, they get paid together. Okay. Now Michael clearly wanted Michael clearly wanted a child. We see that Michael wanted a child because when Angela went to go check out the one egg, the one good egg, she went through all of the motions knowing good and well. She's kind of like Molly, except for Molly was honest. Molly was honest with, what's the guy's name again? I can't remember his name. His name escaped me. But Molly was honest. Molly's like, look, I'm not going to be able to do that for you. But Angela wasn't honest. Angela, to me, was deceptive. She knew that she had no intention, that her one little good egg, as she claimed when she went to the doctor, was not going to get it. Okay? She has 6 grandchildren, 1 daughter, and we don't know where the rest of the people are at. Okay? So she knew, but she knew they were, I forgot what season that was. They were playing the audience. They were playing the crowd. Michael thinks he's coming to America. By the way, Michael, anyhow, you did come to America. I have to talk patois to you. With Angela, should I sit on by you? She would, we would have to pray for you, Michael. Anyway, they both had something for it. He could come here and she could do whatever it is that she wanted to do. Now, when he doesn't get this visa, his end dries up. What was most advantageous for him is not there anymore. But she's now seeing it also as an opportunity that, hey, I'm not going to invest into something that I really don't want to do. I got all these grandchildren. Really, Angela, you going to raise a child all over again? I'm not sure about that. So now she goes into, well, I'm gonna reappropriate these funds to do what I want to do. And we see that she did it into body surgery. She did it into skin tightening, breast reduction, thousands of dollars. But again, she wouldn't be able to have access to this capital. You notice we didn't see Angela working since season 1 when she was doing the CNA, when she was trying to look for the place to get the wedding. We haven't seen Angela go to work since because they came up now. They came up. So for those who just joined us, again, my thoughts are that the real reason Angela treats Michael like this is because he lets her. And sometimes when we feel as though the person has the upper hand or they have something that we want, we make a lot of concessions. And he has negotiated his self-esteem away. She tried to put him against his family, tried to pit him against his friends. One episode, she didn't want him to work. So this is isolating. This is how manipulative, narcissistic people move. This is how they operate. She doesn't want him around any friends. The moment she calls him on the telephone, he should answer no matter what time of day or night. And this is what brings us to the contention now, where she's calling him and he's non-responsive because he sees that things are going in a terrible direction. And sometimes when we've been in an abusive relationship and you finally kind of muster up a little bit of strength to say no, the person is in shock. They're going to reel on you. That same energy that they use to cow you down, that same energy that they use to break you down, they're going to come with it 3, 4, 5 times harder. Why? Because how dare you go against me? This is what, on the telephone, when she got that little thing on her face and she's going in on him, it's like she is in disbelief. Like, how dare you? I got a new setup. Y'all stay right there. I have a little tiny commercial, yeah, and then I'll be back to share the rest of my thoughts. This episode is sponsored by Yummy Curry Powder. Go on over to www.theyummycottage.com for your powder today. Y'all stop messing with me, y'all. I'm getting a little used to the StreamYard now. Anywho, that was a little Yummy Cottage commercial. Go ahead and check it out. So basically, when she realizes that he is finding some strength from somewhere. Don't know where, because I cut you off from everything. Cut you off from your friends, cut you off from your family, isolate you, have you on the limb, and now you're going to get some strength from somewhere? Now she tries to guilt trip him about something that he didn't even agree to. She's going to try to manipulate him. And when she sees that it's not working, she throws this tantrum of which she defaces. These are tools of manipulation. She defaced, she name calls, she minimalizes the person. She talks about his manhood. She does all of these things to show that she didn't have respect. You couldn't get to that point if you respected the person all along the way, even when she took the cake and threw it him in his face before they even got married. I don't know how and why Michael went through with it. She showed along the way that she didn't respect him. So why does Angela treat him like this? Because he lets her. He lets her for one reason or the other. So she comes to the point where now she wants to divorce. And the reality is she got what she wanted. So there's no real reason to stay around. If she's flirting with the Ghanaian doctor about her boobs, what else would she do? Right? What else would she do? So at this time, for me, just viewing it, by this time, she got the surgery. There may not be another renewal of a season because he's not getting his papers. He didn't get the visa to come. So therefore, their time may be up. This is the end. This is the last piece of juice that may be coming out the orange unless they get a spinoff. She could have been offered a spinoff. I don't know. This is me surmising. Something could be in the works that Michael is no longer needed. And now that Michael is no longer needed, he can be discarded. This is not just for Angela. What's her name? That woman. This is not just for her. This is how manipulative, narcissistic, abusive people operate. They're the sweetest things. This is how you get love bombed. They're the sweetest things ever. So Michael is still telling his friends, I love her. He's still deluded because guess what? The last 3-4 years of his life has been sucked away. We don't know if he has access to the capital. We don't know what their agreement was behind the scenes. We don't know any of those things. But at this point, there's a proverbial saying, who has the handle and who has the blade? At this point, she has the handle. He has the blade. That means if she moves, he gets cut. He's in Nigeria. If he doesn't have any visa to come to America, the truth be told, there's nothing he can do. What can he really do? And oftentimes, hey, what's going on, sweetie? Right, she could have used them to get on TV, like Teresa is saying. Y'all like my little new commercial? Y'all better not. Hey, now I'm messing around with this thing and do what it do. But yeah, for me, looking at it, the way the thing is playing out, it's like you finish chewing all the chewing gum and there's no more flavor, so it's okay to spit it out. A lot of the people who were on, Shalom says, a lot of the people who were on 90 Day, they went, because this 90 Day brand, boy, this thing is never ending, right? 90 Day Happily Ever After, 90 Day something. They got 50 million versions of the 90 Day. They juicing the snot out of it. So she couldn't go. Where else could she go within this brand? She had to go to Happily Ever After. That means they had to continue to work it, let it do what it does. And this is where we are right now. It's sad to see that Michael didn't listen to nobody, because we can't even pretend like the brother wasn't warned. His auntie, she saw game from the jump. She was like, let me see that one egg she said she got. Are you sure about this? The brother, his elder brother, came over and warned him, the one who lived at the spot. His friends warned him. And sometimes in life, when we are so tunnel vision, when we want something at all costs, and when we negotiate away our own self-worth because of this thing has consumed us, and we allow the person or the entity who's in control of this thing to demand more and more and more of us, until when we wake up one day, like when Michael started on this show, he looked like he took Angela's weight. By season 3 or 4, whichever one this is, he's put on a lot of weight. She didn't want him to work. She didn't want him to go outside. She was ultra controlling. I saw one of the bloggers say It's not funny. That Angela was treating Michael, although I had the thought, like the slave plantation owner, and he was the handsome buck. That's how she was treating him, like he had no say, he had no autonomy, he had no rights, and the only thing that he's allowed to do is what she allows him to do. And the moment he says that he doesn't want to do those things, she is. I mean, you guys could click the link because I don't know how much of this stuff I could play. They hating on the kid. But yeah, basically that's where it's at. So it's making news now. As always, I don't just want to talk about this stuff to talk about it. I want to talk about it for us to see how the programming. It's easier on social media to see the programming. It's literally programming, right? We get to see how it works out in real time when it's not us and it's somebody outside of us. We could clearly see, ooh, but what kept him there? Desire. Could it be desire for Angela? Desire for a different life? Desire to leave Nigeria? Desire to, I don't know. One thing I do know, if you guys remember USMAN was in a similar situation, but USMAN had a different mentality. And so baby girl Lisa had the same programming as Angela. And USMAN knew enough. He bent a little bit, but he knew enough to be like, hey, now, we're not doing that. So she thought he really was pressed to come to America, but later on, I think she claims that he used her to pop off his music career. He really didn't want to come to America, and he let her know that she was going to be one of many. That was crazy. I'm sorry, that was crazy. Oh boy. Anyway, any questions or comments? That's just my thoughts. I'll wrap this up. Is that we have relationships all over, intercontinental relationships, people of different cultures, and we see certain similar things throughout, and that's called human behavior or human nature. Right now, and everybody keeps saying, you are a Nigerian man. Why are you accepting what this woman is doing to you? Desire. I say it's desire. Right? If he looked around, they say, why don't you get a Nigerian woman? You see, let me just say this. It's interesting how we are here, and many people say, oh, it's the women here. It's the women here, and if you go somewhere else. But here he is on the continent, and he doesn't want the women who are there. And he reaches clear over to America to get away. Oh, how could I forget? How much older is she? She's almost 15 years older than him. What did she say? She's like 56 and he's like 30 or something like that. So he reaches clear over here to get someone. I think he has mother issues, if you ask me. When you see somebody moving like this, the person has mother issues. And the mother issues could possibly come from the environment that he grew up in. We don't know if he's the baby of the family. We don't know the conditions that his father and the other wives were under. We don't know. But for whatever it is, it looks like Michael has a bit of mother issues. That's my observation, my layman's observation. Any thoughts on the subject matter before we wrap it up? Not sure if I'm going to come back tonight. I'll see if we're going to come back and talk more about the nature of women. And in this case, the nature of Angela is toxic. Angela's nature is toxic. Angela is toxic. Somebody said, let's read some of these comments and some of these other things. Somebody said, what would Angela's mother think? But before Angela's mother passed, oh man, stop all this noise. Before Angela's mother passed, she exhibited some ways that I think that's possibly where Angela got it from. Concerning the friend's advice, I'm on somebody else's blog. Somebody says they like the friend's advice. They weren't encouraging him to leave. They were being supportive. Remember how she cursed the friends out the last time, and the friends was like, what in the world, Michael? Where did you get this woman from? Angela treats him awfully. She's abusive. Please get out. Get out. Hashtag get out, Michael. Honestly, Michael needs to leave Angela. She talks to him like he's a child. And he actually said that. Look, I'm not a child. But you're saying it like a child. You know what I'm saying? That she's not convinced. She's not convinced. And once you stand up for yourself with this level of a narcissistic type of person, they are not going to stand for it. And this is why she's like, basically, if you don't succumb to my abuses, then it's over. And that's why, to me, she's breaking up. Uh, and she doesn't let him have any day in anything or say. She walks all over him and he's confused, and I feel for him. He's allowing himself at this point, this is me saying, to be a victim. Uh, Somebody says, but she's never going to change. I agree with that. She's been treating you like garbage for 3 years. I agree with that. Why would she stop now? I agree with that. Listen to your friends, Michael. Yes, I also agree with this. I think Angela's abuse will become physical if they live together. That is facts. Because look how she behaves when he's distant. She went to the place for somebody to track the man illegally on camera, track this man's phone. What would she do if he was present? I think, yeah, I think, Teresa, I think she used it. It was a come up. Because from that first episode, from the first series, she ain't been back to that CNA job yet. Remember when she was in her scrubs? She was like, man, forget this. All I got to do is ride this for a few more. You know what I mean? Who knows? Um, and his friends really checked for him, because if they didn't, they would have been like, forget Michael, you know? So it's a good thing that they still looked out for him. And when she went to Nigeria, she clearly told him, remember when he asked her to fly to plantains? How hard is it to fly to plantains? And she was like, I'm not gonna fly no plantains. I'm not gonna do this. I'm American. I'm like, lady, what that gotta do with what that gotta do with ordering pizza? The mother and the aunt is looking at him like, Michael, where did you get this woman from? These are the signs. We see signs in people, but again, our desire is a blinding principle. So when we see the desire, when we see those signs, the clear red flags, we keep going past them, because what we want, we think it's worth what we want. This shows obviously one side coming off the other, who in their right mind takes this seriously. No, it's used for me, all illustration. It's used to look at what people would do for what it is they say they want, on the good side and on the bad side. A lot of people watch it. I'm not going to front. I watch it and follow, when I have some time, what's going on, because it's a good way to assess human nature. Human nature. I don't know if you've seen the show, but yeah, it's something to consider. Hold on. Let's go over to where she's cursing him out now. There's a lot of people who file papers who look for love outside of the country. Like we said, the 90-day actual, where Garrick, and he convinces his entire family to go over to Mexico so that he can impregnate his Brazilian girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of stuff we may laugh at and say this is happening in somebody else's life. But how many things have we been convinced of by so-called loved ones? How many things have we been manipulated into, or how many things have we manipulated others to get in the name of love? When Ma'am, hey, John, if you don't stop calling me ma'am, sir, my name is Amuna. Stop it. Everyone on 90-day fiance knows exactly what's going on. None is naive. I don't know if you just came, but I spoke to that. But that's okay. Who's getting married after 2.5 months? Plenty of people. Plenty of people. Plenty of people are getting married after 2.5 months. If plenty of people weren't, then there wouldn't be such a thing as a K-1 visa. So this is actually, it may not be a thing in your reality, but plenty of people are doing it. And plenty of people do it the reverse. If somebody wants to go and live in another country, they usually look for a native to marry so that they can get their paperwork together fast. So it doesn't only just go one way. It goes the other way too, and plenty of people do it, and they're using marriage as a business negotiation. How many people used to live after it back in the day? You ask how many people get married after 2.5 months? How many people get married after never having even met the person? That's called arranged marriages. A lot of that still happens in India. How many people get married sight unseen? Plenty of people. This is happening. Even though we don't think it may be happening in our present reality, it is definitely happening. Edith says Angela is an undercover racist, period. It always comedy out such an episode as last episode. weak. Yeah, and that is what's confusing. If she holds these thought processes, how then does she, why would she then engage in such a relationship if she is an undercover racist? I don't know how that works out. There's definitely something that's going on there, but it doesn't, maybe it's in her epigenetics, maybe it's in her bloodline, maybe it's in her family DNA. There's something going on beyond what we're seeing, because she's looking and she's seeking out. She has a desire and an inclination and a lust towards the melanated man from the continent in this case, because I'm not sure how much she would be able to get away with what she's doing if she got there's plenty of melanated men here in America. I'm not sure that she would get away with it to the degree she is for someone who's coming from the continent, but there's definitely something going on with her beyond what we're seeing. What people will do for money and not love when the other party's heart is really in it. Yeah. So John, do you think that people are not getting married within a 2.5 months period? Do you think people are not meeting on international websites? This is a thing, but I'm asking you, do you think this is actually happening, or do you think this is happening for a different demographic of people? Let's see here. He says the K1 visa is nothing but a finesse, a green card game. Yo, we can't take him right now, you know. This is one of my lighter streams, so yeah, I know I like to laugh. It's the same thing that foreigners do when they come to America to get a green card. So they have a baby by a loser so they don't get kicked out. I think she may be doing it before, Trisha. Like I said, when she had the conversation, when they were having the tell-all and she was having the conversation with baby girl Lisa, like she was putting her up on, I don't know why they call her that, but when she was putting her up on game, it seems like she was familiar with these chat rooms, so that she's been surfing in these places. You know, it's not like you accidentally got over there. Again, K1 visa, I mean, in your understanding, you're free to understand that that's what it is. That doesn't negate that it's happening and people are looking for love in other places. It's the same thing that they say, if you can't find love in the quote unquote melanated community, you go elsewhere. They're divesting. Angela divested. I'm sorry, Angela's divesting. Let me read some of these comments. Hold on. I need a light day, eh? Somebody says Angela can be funny at times, but the way she treats the man is wrong. She expects so much respect, but gives none. How many people, if we're seeing this in her, then it exists in our reality. How many people are like Angela, where you expect respect, but you give none? This is what you look like to us, or this is what you look like to your family members, or this is what you look like at acknowledge you and respect you and consider your things and whatever you contribute, but you do none of the above. At which point you are Angela and everybody else is Michael. How does it look? It doesn't look. Hey, Sandy. Yes, sorry, yeah, no problem. I just basically recap about the reason why Michael is being treated the way he is. Somebody says he seems like a decent man. As an American, I'm embarrassed she's treating him like a used Kleenex. He deserves to be treated with dignity and respect. Again, the reason why Angela is treating Michael the way she is because Michael is allowing it. I agree. He needs to speak up for himself, but you have to understand she broke him bit by bit. And I truly believe that he's lost a sense of who he really is. Because even when he's talking to his friends and he's apologizing and his friends are like, no, what are you doing? He has gotten so much in the space of apologizing, even when he's not at fault, even when she's clearly wrong. You see that to a certain degree. I think Michael may be under my control. It's not funny. Michael may be under my control. Everybody's telling Michael to run. She's full of herself, very abusive, disrespectful of Michael. Always her way, doesn't compromise. Michael, you are free. You deserve someone who treats you with respect. Love is not enough. Listen, this is not love. This is another thing. He keeps saying he loves her, he loves her, he loves her. This is not love. This is not love. And sometimes when people end up in abusive relationships and the person demeans you and then they tell you they love you or they hit you, which we don't know for sure, but she looks like the type. Actually, she did physically assault him. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can find that one. She did physically assault him when she took the cake and she threw it in his face. When they were when I forgot what he was trying to do. When she was in Nigeria, uh hold on, I'm trying to remember because that was a few seasons ago. When they were in Nigeria, and here it is. So this is not now. She did physically assault him. Wait a minute. I don't know if they're gonna. Let me just get a still shot of this. Do 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 do. Ooh, do 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 do. This woman is out of control. And how do the producers stand by? I mean, it's television, but hold on. I really want this shot. So this is physical assault. Let me go over here now. Hold on. This is physical assault here. Do 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 do. Angela throws cake. Who remembers this part? This one where I forgot what was the argument, and he bought her a cake and she went to go braid her hair or something to that effect. This was like a few seasons ago. And then when he comes back, she talking about, I don't want the cake, Michael, and she takes the cake and she hits it in his face. Let me see if we can. Yeah, here. Right? So that was the part where she actually physically assaulted him. So yes, if he came to America, chances are she would do worse to him than that. John says this brother knows what is going on. Michael is a knowing participant. I know he's stealing money out of her purse and is getting dual citizenship. African men ain't stupid. He knows she's racist. How's he stealing the money? I'm not sure that. I don't know how he would be stealing the money. There's a pot. I don't know. They maybe get both of them are getting money from the show, but I'm not sure how he would be stealing it. Look at the smile of those Nigerians when they want to do some hustling. They will pull out the Nigerians. I'm done. I can't be with you. Oh, Father help me. Yes, Nigerians are known for running scams. Michael don't look like he attended scam class though. Because if he running a scam, he is not good at it. I don't think Michael is good at it. Sandy says I had to stop watching. Angela is so disrespectful and totally out of line. Yeah. Yep. I'm just seeing all of the clips and I'm like, perfect time to comment because as you said, this stuff has been going on. Yeah, how is he stealing money? I don't know. Michael did not attend scamming university because he's not good at it. If that's what's going on, pray for him. But anywho, the visa game is real, and part of it is because of the what is being said about the potential of coming to America. And the reality is when you get here, it's a very different thing. It's a very different thing, but how it's sold from other countries is. But there are some people in recent episodes that say, well, that's not really what I'm about, right? And people can't believe it. They're like, oh, I know you want to come to America, but we have to understand in other countries, people still have certain level of their communal societal connections intact. So they still, where if they come here or they lose all of that. So you may be gaining monetarily, but you're losing those connections with family and friends because now it's all about money and work. Pedro experienced that. Family of Chantel. Pedro experienced that coming here where he loses the connection with his mother and with his sister. And now it's just work, work, work in the house, work, work, work. He got fat, taekwondo, work, work, work. Because it may be more monetary advancement, but you actually use that human connection. And a lot of people who come here don't realize it until they get here, that it's a trade-off and it's not always the best. Yeah, I remember that lake situation where he had a picture and she's like, "You told me you was never at the lake, Michael." It's like, dude, what is I mean, you can't be that overbearing. That it's just too much. Many of these men will give their left. I can't with you guys. I'm my left toe for a visa, but it's the conditions of the country. I cannot. And some don't want to come. Some actually did possibly fall in love with the person and want to be with that person. There's many of them who said, they would go back, like Sinjin wanting to go back to South Africa, and Yara wanting to go back to Russia or Ukraine, I think she came from, and some of the others wanting to go back because it's not what they thought it would be. Yes, she made him quit his job. Yep, we spoke about that. She made him quit his job so that he could answer the phone, and she basically paid him off. She bribed him to a certain degree for him to just sit around, not go to work, not go out with his friends, and always be available. Well, who needs that level of control? Who? Who? Angela does. That woman. She needs therapy. I think with now the money that she has, she needs to go to therapy. But we doubt that that's what she would do. But if you know any Angelas in your life, as we wind down here, if you know any Angelas, or if you are the Angela, male or female, it's something to look at yourself and say, do I really act like that? Do I really behave? Do I really treat people like this? Would I want somebody to treat me like this? It's clear that she cannot see herself. As someone said, if when they went to the strip club, which was crazy because who goes to a strip club when you're about to get married? I don't know, maybe people do. And she swore that Michael was looking at the behind of the woman. I'm sorry, y'all, I need some light information right now. When she swore Michael was looking at the behind of the woman and she stormed out the strip club and carried on the most way, this woman unveiled her entire breast while she hit on the plastic surgeon Ghanaian guy. It's like, but she can't see herself. She can only see the other person. Let's keep this real. That brother is hustling. I told you, Mike, for a visa. We see through. I don't think he's gonna get the citizenship, because they already denied him. They already denied him. It doesn't look, and if she divorces him, then she's gonna cancel the process. And this may be why. This is why I had a theory at the beginning. Theory is when they first came on the show, they may have qualified, right? As they went along, she no longer works at her CNA job. They having a come up. She moved to a new house. That means you're getting new money. You're doing what you got to do. So Michael and her are still trying to pass time and do what they need to do. Now they're not getting the visa. She ends up having to go and marry in Nigeria, right? Because now they're still trying to make it happen. She's getting something out the deal. Michael's getting something out the deal. As they go along, and Michael is not getting the visa, she's in a position where she can do whatever she wants because who's going to hold her accountable? She lied to the mother and the aunt about the one good egg, tried to get their blessing so that she can marry him. She does that, right? And so here we are now, nobody to hold her accountable, give them something to talk about, and she takes the money and she does what she wants to do with it. And Mike still has no child, no visa, and no clear path to coming to America. And now Angela wants a divorce. So now she owes him nothing. He just, to me, he didn't hustle. He just got. That's what it looks like to me. He just got. So that's why I said if he went to scamming school, he did not pass with flying colors. That's just a Muna version, noteworthy, limited edition. Any more thoughts or comments? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on what has been happening here. What are some takeaways? If Angela wasn't so ratchet, would you watch still? What are some of the things that keep us coming back to shows like this? Somebody said Michael is emotionally exhausted. Yeah, he does look like he's over it. Like, you know what? What are you doing? And what Nigerian woman is going to want him if he no longer has access to money, has not been working, and has allowed someone to basically emasculate him on, at this point, international TV? What woman is going to want to be with him at this point? Yeah. And she's giving a misrepresentation, or maybe it is an accurate retelling, because she keeps saying, I'm American. I don't know what that means. And you know who I haven't caught up with? Because for some reason I'm not, I don't remember. It's too many of the spin-offs. But the woman who went down to Brazil, what's her name? The woman who went to Brazil, the one from, let's see, where is she from? Uh, she's from Illinois or someplace. What's the name of this woman who went down to Brazil and then she was buying the guy all the gifts, and then she breaks up with him and then gets with the cousin? Oh gosh, there's too much of them to keep up with. She is another one that needs evaluating as well. What's her name? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. What is her name? She's doing another type of Angela move, but and then she's like overly controlling. Goes to, she's over, what's her name? Stephanie. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Edith. Stephanie, that's her name. What is going on? I haven't been able to keep up with what's going on there, but she accuses him of doing everything that he's not supposed to be doing, and yet still she is with the cousin, and she was with the cousin before. So it's kind of a similar type of situation where you know that you're doing something wrong and off, and you're accusing the other person of it, and you're manipulating them because you have the power and they desire the visa. Yes, Stephanie, the hula hoop lady, the hula hoop lady. Yeah, I'm going to go look at the John really wants me to do peak value man explained. I'm going to go and look, John. Give me a moment. I needed to do one of these light sessions here. That's her name, Stephanie, and the guy who she broke up with. I don't think it would necessarily go the same way that Angela would, because the other guy, which I forget his name at this point, he has a bit of an attitude. So it's like, even though you're helping me, remember she was paying the hotel to she was paying his salary. So she was doing a bit too much. You're an established businesswoman in America, right? You have all of this going for you, and you need to get a young boy because he's way younger than her, what, like 20 something years younger than her. And you get this young boy down in Belize. Yeah, it's Belize, not Brazil, Belize. You get this young boy down there, and you're putting all of these gifts on him, like to buy his affection. You're taking care of his family, you're paying his salary, and the moment he doesn't do what you want him to do, you sleep with his cousin. Sweetie Darling says, I heard life can be messy and my idea of perfect relationship is not the only way. That's why I come back to watch. Also, I want to believe I need to believe in love. Yeah, it's something about the whole thing, right? Like you said, it's something about the whole thing that makes you say, what's going on now? How we idealize people, how we idealize one another, especially when we're far off, when we're distant, and we create this thought of what we think it is. And then when they come into where we are, they come into our space, and that honeymoon phase is over, and they come into our space, all of a sudden things get different. You start seeing things you didn't see before, right? And then you see how the reality kind of grounds them, like Yara's situation. I think if she wasn't pregnant, she would have went back home. But I think in their situation, there's only two things. Either Jovi's going to have to man up, which he seems to be doing, or they're not going to make it. Because this is how we end up in things if we don't really think before we engage in certain activities. Like when she told him she was pregnant, he was like, "Oh, you can't be." It's like, wait a minute, have you been laying with her? Then there's every possibility that she can be. But that's kind of how we go through our life sometimes, like, oops, right? And then we have to become adults really quickly and not necessarily make the conscious decision to do it, but kind of forced to do it. Are we the only ones that see that this is a citizenship hustle? No, we're talking about it. We're talking about, but if is it a citizenship hustle when it's the other way? Like there's a 90-day the other way, where they don't want to come to America. Like now you're gonna make me try to remember all these people's names, man. What's the lady who went to India with Schmidt? I remember Schmidt, but she goes to India and she meets into these cultural uh barriers where she is not accepted for many reasons. One of which, the same reason why Angela wasn't accepted, is that you're beyond childbearing age and you are with Jenny. Sandy is on it, boy. Sandy Moon, shout out to you. You are on it. Schmidt and Jenny. And Schmidt's family was like, look, Schmidt, if you don't get this woman out of here. Her mother was upset that she was like 1 year older than her mother. So we have to understand culturally, it's not all about getting a visa and coming to America. People look for love in different. Oh gosh, don't get me to start talking about Britney. Britney is a whole headache for me. Britney is a whole headache for me, y'all. Britney is a whole headache. She's a whole headache. Oh gosh. Yes, Britney did go to a Muslim country. She went to no, she didn't go to Jordan. She went to where did Britney go again? She was with Yazan. Okay. Again, once again, you're going into other cultures with unrealistic expectations, thinking that hollering about being an American is going to change anything in this place in which you are immersed. It doesn't work like that, right? So Britney didn't realize the depth of trouble that she could find herself in by messing around. And when she got that wake up call, she was like, oh, it's time to go. When the translator and Yazan's brother had to say, listen, this is not a game. This is not a game. They was either going to take Yazan out. Why? Because she took an American mentality to another country and thought it was going to work. And in other places, in Muslim places, oftentimes, it's about honor. And to know that their son was marrying a woman who was not even half naked, she was 3/4 naked on the Instagram, that didn't fare well. So Britney, I think she got a wake up call quickly off of that, but it doesn't seem like she fully got it together because, when she comes back to America and she's this last season that went by, she doesn't show up to the tell all, and you could tell that something else is going on there. And she may need some counseling herself. A lot of these people who we're watching, including ourselves, needs counseling. No, it's not. It's not the only spectacular place on earth. And I just said that to say that they have people going 90-day the other way, right? Who look to go to other countries, like the other young girl. But I think they made it because I see them on 1 and 2 articles about that. The young girl who converted to Islam and her young husband was a dentist. I think they have like a cooking channel on YouTube or something like that. Y'all know who I'm talking about. It was the young girl, but she had converted before she met him. And I think she had to move to like Yemen or something because he couldn't get any visa. And I think they made it. Because there's only a few that actually make it. And for those who do, congratulations to that. But I don't think Angela and Michael is going to make it. She has juiced the last bit of juice out of that there lemon. So may Michael take this opportunity, if it is so, to get his life together and to to realize what could have caused him to find himself in such a situation. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we don't know that Angela couldn't have done anything to him that he didn't let her, especially being so far and distant. So he allowed it to a certain degree. Oh man, we at the 1 hour mark. Y'all got me sucked into 90-day fiance land. If someone is in a messed up country and really want to leave, they will date a racist temporarily to get what they want, then leave. when they get rights. Foreign women do that to simps all the time. You know who maybe question about this? The girl Tariq. What's the name of the girl? No, why I keep forgetting everybody's name? Tariq and not Mindy. Mindy is a. Tell me the name of the next girl who he brought over. She seems to me to something else is going on. So I agree with you. Oftentimes women do this. And Hazel, Sandy Moon, you know what, Sandy Moon, Sandy Moon. You are good, boy. You are good. All of these names are swirling around in my mind. Yes, Hazel. Something is not all the way on the up and up with Hazel. So I agree. Women do it, and apparently men do it too. Michael gonna have all areas of life real good. I told you there's a possibility Michael is not gonna get that paperwork. There's a possibility, especially with all of this stuff that where it's documented on TV. There's a possibility Michael's not gonna get the paperwork. Because if she divorces him, yeah, that stuff with Hazel is real suspect. The stuff with Hazel is real suspect. So, but we'll just have to wait and see. There's so much I can't keep up with it all. But hopefully we learn and we grow and we make better decisions in our own lives and we can use it as references. People used to use stories as cautionary tale, but these are visual stories. And we can use them as cautionary tales if we so desire. So with that said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Yep, this was a head scratcher. We just have to pay attention and watch and learn. With that said, everybody have a blessed day. Thank you. Shout out to Sandy Moon. Sandy Moon's memory is on point. Thank you so much. Have a good day.